being an influencer in modern day terms is somebody who's usually paid to promote something, recommend something, encourage others to maybe buy something or get involved in a certain thing. But being an influencer doesn't mean you have to get paid for it. Everybody is an influencer in some way. Often people think, oh, well, I have to be famous, I have to do this, I have to, be of a certain status to be an influencer, to actually have the power to influence somebody. But if you think about it, we all influence somebody else at some point in our lives. That may be your siblings, that may be your children, that may even be your parents or your grandparents, or vice versa. We all get the power to influence others, like every day, even if it's somebody you don't really know. It could be somebody at work that you just come across. You're influencing them by, maybe if you've got manners, if you speak kindly to them, you're influencing them, and maybe they'll pass that on through someone else and be like, oh, you know what, this person spoke really nicely to me, so I'm just going to speak nicely to the next person. It kind of carries on, so you're influencing each other without even really knowing it, and definitely without being paid. Another word for an influencer is like a campaigner, a promoter, a representative. You're championing something that you believe in, or something that is worth you encouraging others for. And in the Bible, it tells us that we are ambassadors of Christ, and an ambassador does not speak to please his or her audience, but the person who sent him or her. So being an ambassador doesn't mean that you're speaking to out of your own words, out to please other people and to get a popular opinion of other people. Being an ambassador is speaking the words that somebody else has told you, somebody else that you're looking to, the higher power above you. You're speaking their words and you're encouraging others from them, and it's not really your own power that's coming out. It's you're more than a messenger, but it's the similar lines as being a messenger. And in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verses 11 through 21 talk about how we are God's ambassadors, and how what Christ has done for us to make us an ambassador. But I just want to read a little bit for you. I won't read it all, but starting in verse 20, it says, so we are Christ's ambassadors. God is making his appeal through us. We speak for Christ when we plead, come back to God. For God made Christ, who never sinned, to be the offering for our sin, so that we could be made right with God through Christ. So Paul is saying that as Christians, we are ambassadors for Christ. We are called to go out and tell other people about the good news, and to tell other people what Christ has done for us, and to just bring people back to God, and keep telling other people that you've got a new life waiting for you and there's something better for you. So I just want to bring up the question to you, like, what are you influencing? Who are you influencing? What are you maybe suggesting for people to watch, to read, to listen to buy, to take part in? Like, what are you putting out there for people? What are you suggesting? Oh, have you read this book? It's really good. Like, should you be influencing it to them, or is it maybe not the right person influencing it to? Are you influencing someone too young, too old? There's lots of questions you can be asking yourself, because we all influence things all the time. And I just want for you to ponder in your mind, if you're an ambassador, which is passing on someone else's words, whose words are you passing on? Because the definition for being an ambassador is, you're speaking somebody else's words through your own mouth, but it's just you're passing on something else. And whose words are you speaking out? Are they somebody's words that you should be speaking out? Is it somebody that you actually really agree with what they're saying? Is it actually true to what you know? Like, are you going against all your values, all your certain things, and you're actually changing your way to give out words that actually you don't believe bring life and bring encouragement to other people? You're just saying them to fit in with popular society. But being an influencer doesn't always mean you're going with the flow. You're listening to the one person's voice, and you're speaking from the other person, from the person who's higher than you, who's giving you the words to speak. So I wanted to encourage you that whatever you're influencing, whatever you're talking about, whatever you're reading, whatever you're watching, is it good for you to influence other people and encourage other people to watch and read those things? Or is it maybe something that you need to change as well, and maybe get influence from somebody else and be like, oh, actually, I shouldn't be doing this, and I'm not influencing other people in the right way? Because being an influencer, it's not just for people that are famous, who have a certain amount of followers, who do a certain amount of things in their life. You could be whatever simple job you have. If you're not even in a job, you could be literally anybody or nobody, and influence somebody, whether you have a million friends or one friend or loads of family members or just a select few. It doesn't matter, you're influencing somebody. You could just be walking past the street and influence somebody by holding open the door maybe, or stepping to the side of the pavement to let them walk first. It could literally be anything, and you're influencing them to think, oh wow, like it gives a positive mindset to other people and it influences them to pass on the same thing. So what are you influencing, and who are you influencing? Is it in the right things? And I just encourage you to read 2 Corinthians chapter 5 about being God's ambassador. Are you, striving to seek to tell people all about Christ and what he has done? Or are there maybe other things that you're influencing that you shouldn't be influencing other people about? So yeah, just know that you are an influencer and you can be an influencer. Just know that what you're doing, is it the right thing, and is it what God's maybe calling you to influence?